Greetings from ABC Acres. I'm Grant Shadden, here once again in our workshop next to our Batchbox rocket mass heater to answer a few questions from a previous video just from a few weeks back that frankly has gotten a lot more attention than we anticipated, but we're glad to see so many people have enthusiasm or at least interest in rocket mass heaters. So first off, I'm going to show the starting process to our Batchbox rocket mass heater, kind of focusing in on a couple key details, some key features that we have, including our bypass here, and a nice slider damper that we have as well. And then I'm going to show you a few still photos from some Google Sketchup plans we have that were professionally done for this Batchbox rocket mass heater. And then I'll provide some contact info for those that are truly interested in getting a set of plans. We can dialogue further from there through email. So I'll start this up and let you guys see it in action. Okay, well, I'm ready to start this up. I just put a few pieces of newspaper in there. And I'm just going to throw a little bit of thinner scrap wood here from some woodworking projects. Get those going. Got an old toilet paper roll, so why not? And then open up our damper there, make sure that's in. And then we have what I said was this feature, this bypass right here. So we open up, instead of the air going through the thermal mass of the cob bench, right now it's just going to go straight up and out that exhaust pipe going through the roof. And so we do that until we get this fire going and the system primed, which only really takes, if this bench is already heated up, it only takes a minute or so. So we're letting that get going. I'll grab some more wood and keep filling it up. But once it gets going there, I can close this door and it starts drawing that air through, and it's starting to really get that kindling to start taking off there. And once we get that, then we're good to go. All right, now as you can see and probably hear, that fire's really going now. You can see that flame starting to be drawn into the burn chamber, and from here we can add some more wood, and we'll also be able to, here in just a moment, push that bypass switch back in, transferring the exhaust from going out just straight through the roof and back into the cob bench to charge up the thermal mass. So one thing when you're pushing in a bypass like this, you want to kind of do it a little bit at a time just to see, at least on ours, if we start getting a little bit of a puff of smoke out, it's not quite primed enough and we need to pull it back out to allow the system to get itself worked up. But we're not getting any smoke back, so we're good right now. And then the other feature that I was talking about, some people mentioned that they had concern that we were just going to have our bench cool down very quickly after the fire went out due to just the cold air being drawn in through the system, running through our piping and just wicking all that heat out. Well, that's what this damper's for. Once the fire goes out, we can just slide that shut, and so we don't allow that cold air to run through the system, so the thermal mass holds it very effectively. Well, I'm gonna load up the rest of this wood here as we got this fire going, and from there we'll go into the office, and on the computer I'll show you a couple examples of the Google SketchUp plans for this Batchbox. And you can see the Google SketchUp plans of the rocket mass heater, but these are specifically for the Batchbox system here, and that's what mostly people have been asking about. You can find a lot of different plans for the cob benches, for rocket mass heaters and the heat risers and all that, but the batch box is the newer innovation here recently, and is also what people are mostly demanding. So that's what we're going to highlight. Here is simply another view of the rocket mass heater with the batch box. You can see basically what you've seen before. We're going to get into more of the specifics here. But there is that slider, the damper that I talked about. Not pictured is that bypass valve that we used. Okay, here you see what is the core of the batch box kind of exploded out. So you're seeing it in some staggered overlaid parts, just deconstructed. So you can see here the burn barrels, the heat riser, and then here is the inside of the batch box with the fire brick angling down into the P channel here, going into the intake for the heat riser in the burn chamber, and then obviously the metal going over the exterior here with the door as well. And what you're looking at here is the dimensions of the top plate. Let me zoom in a little bit. So you can see it's got the marked dimensions there. It's showing dimensions for the cuts that a fabricator, a welder would need to make. This obviously being where the glass would go if you wanted that. That's obviously not a requirement for the functionality of it. It's more just the aesthetics. And lastly, as an example, here's the door to front plate position for the top and sides. You can see here the amount of overlap there is for the door closure, and then obviously there's some gasket material there to make a nice tight seal that we put on afterwards, or the more accurately, the fabricator and welder of the batch box put on afterwards for the seal. But just giving you an example of the detail in these plans. You can see the fires taking off nicely in our batch box rocket mass heater. If you're wanting the plans for the batch box, specifically the dimensional cuts that you could either yourself take if you can weld and fabricate, or take to a welder and fabricator, we are going to have that link posted. It will either be annotated in the video throughout, or it will definitely be in kind of our end credits. So be sure to look out for that. Get a hold of us. It'll be through our ABC Acres website, and we will get back to you with details on how you can get those. A full set of plans so that you can build your own custom batch box if that's what you want to do. Well, in any event, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below. And as always, thanks for watching.